Peace and blessings. How are you doing? I hope all is well. I want to come out here and I want to do a reading right quick of general energies. I want to do a general energy reading right quick. Let me see. Show me 8 cards. Show me 8 cards. The 8 of Wands. The 9 of Swords. Mm. The Hierophant. The Ace of Cups. The 7 of Swords. There's a lot of things coming to surface at this time. With with Mars and Venus, I think it still is. I got to check the transits. Square in the nose. There's a lot of things that are coming to surface at this time. Because Virgos does rule the trauma and mental health. There's a lot of things coming to surface at this time, especially when it come down to, and it's coming up in the form of different types of emotions. Um, it is basically what's been causing people to causing things. It's basically it's been a build up, and it base or it's setting the tone for it going forward. We just had the full moon in Aquarius, meaning we just had 2 full moons in Aquarius. Last month, the end of July, we had it in Aquarius, one the first degree of Aquarius. Then we had this one at the 29th critical analytic degree of Aquarius. And I remember I was telling people, I said that moon in particular gonna pack a punch. I feel as time goes forward, those two, that moon in particular, is definitely gonna pack a punch going forward. Um, I'm seeing here that a lot of things are coming up. There's a lot of things are coming up. Especially when it come down to, cause first of all, I'm just gonna, cause first of all, there's a lot of things coming up in terms of people being scammed, people being taken advantage of, and it's hard to believe. And I said to myself, because I know I was seeing it with some people, I said, oh my goodness, this is so insane. These people get a scam right up under their nose, right in front of, now up under their nose, but in front of their face, in front of their own eyes. They still up here appeasing to it. And it is so insane. So, way how I'm seeing it here, and then you got these people that they let it scam them and that they're appeasing. These same people turn around, turn on them, and they be begging them for like money and things of that nature again. It's insane. It is so insane. But see, with this Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, it's showing narcissism. It's bringing out a lot of narcissism, a lot of narcissistic energy at this time. You know, so because with the Ace of Cups here, what I was saying was that things from the past, people from the past, well, no, things from the past that were either suppressed, that was either suppressed or basically it's coming up at this time. It's coming up. It's coming out at this time. Is what it is. Also with the Ace of Cups crowning the Seven of Swords here. The Ace of Cups crowning the Seven of Swords here. Also with the Ace of Cups crowning the Seven of Swords here. It was something I was about to say. I guess it will come back to me because it was something that I was about to say here. Because I was talking about earlier about with the energies that was causing a divide. I was talking about that, and I'm just gonna do because normally I do like the shadow readings and things of that nature, but I'm just gonna do it all in one reading. I'm not gonna make this video too long and this reading too long. With the government, I'm not saying, I'm not urging you to I'm not urging you to do this. I mean, it's up to you, but I do see them trying to cause a divide in terms of the vaccine. Vaccinated with the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated. They like trying to cause a divide. This would be the B system. They're trying to cause a divide, and this would be us. That would be the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. They're trying to cause a divide here. If you get what I'm saying here, and they're trying to keep unity from taking place. They're trying to cause a divide here. They're doing all they can to cause a divide. It's coming from this beast like energy. This beast energy. They're doing all they can, and they're sending out energies. They're sending out energies to try to cause a divide, cause people to fear, try to cause a divide. Now, if you know that you're spiritually protected, now if you know that you're divinely protected, you're like, hell, why should you worry? You shouldn't have to worry. But the way how I see it here, they even coming up with ways. This will be also them cremating bodies, doing aqua cremations. They doing aqua cremations, contaminating the water, aqua aqua cremations. They pass the law secretly. Aqua, and then one of them is aqua cremations. Aqua cremations, as in they cremating bodies, and then into water and trying into water and trying to basically trying to supply it through the water systems, especially these bodies that's already been vaccinated. So it's what they doing. So I'm getting that they definitely consider other ways in terms of drinking water in the future, like maybe going back to springs, going back to springs here. It's like a waterfall here, going back to springs in the future. I am seeing that for definitely go back to springs in the future. I'm also seeing here that there's a lockdown that's coming. That's a shutdown. That's another lockdown that's coming. That's another shutdown. That's another lockdown that's coming. When I see this, like somebody have the key, but there's another lockdown that's coming. People don't want to be locked down in the house because it'll cause a lot of anxiety. With the South Node of Sagittarius, it's about freedom being restricted with the Mars and Mercury and Virgo conjoined and Virgo square in the nodes. Then we got the new moon in Virgo is about to happen. Virgo is about um Virgo is about hermit. It's like the hermit mode. It is about being on lockdown. It is about lockdown, things of that nature, seclusion, lockdown. And then when you got South Node of Sagittarius, that's about freedom being taken away or freedom being restricted. Cause the North Node of Sagittarius, that'll be freedom. That'll be having freedom and get having more freedom. But with the South Node of Sagittarius, that's about freedom being restricted. So even restricted. So it's more so like they gonna try to, yeah, because I do see a lockdown that's coming, as stated. I do see a lockdown that's coming. I even see more hospitals getting filled up. Um, here. On the other hand, I do see here that there's going to be. I do see that a lot of people is being exposed. A lot of people being exposed, especially for the sex trafficking rings that's been going on, or whatever the case is. They're being exposed at this time. And then with the hierarchy here, this is the person who's scamming as well. There's a lot of scamming that's been going on. So I do see it. Then these people being deceived right in their faces, and they fail to want to see it, or they so traumatized to see it, but they're being deceived right in their faces, and they letting it happen. A lot of narcissism taking place, and these exact same people who are scamming and things of that nature, they display that narcissistic energy. They basically, how can I put this? What causing they blaming things on people, but yet at the same time turn around still scamming people. I do see that here. I do see charges being put on bills that's like causing unexpected worries. It's unexpected charges. And see, that's another thing with Saturn retrograde in Aquarius in this lower vibration, because Aquarius represents scams, and fraud and identity theft. That's why you have to be careful at this time. Um, Especially with square in the nose of Gemini. But there's, I remember I talked about, now they said, as I stated, they gonna, it's like globally they're going to send out energies, more energies onto this earth. They're gonna send out more energies onto this earth. It's gonna cause people to fear, and see, that's what this a beast system like that. That's what it's want to do. It want to feed off of energy like that. On the other hand, with Chiron, I mean no, with Virgo, this energy is going on in Virgo, especially with Mars and Mercury square in the nose. There's a, like I said, there's a lot of things coming up. A lot of things that cause trauma is coming up, and it's starting to be dealt with. It's starting on the individual level before it happened on a global level. It's a lot of that is coming up. As stated, there's these different communities that has been getting away with things for so long. They're falling now. They're falling. See, it was funny. The death card right there is showing up. It's falling. And also, another thing, this is what I wanted to say. There's a separation going on at this time with the chosen ones versus the ones who aren't chosen. The chosen ones versus the ones who aren't chosen, meaning the ones who have done the work, the ones who are aligning with their purpose and have aligned with their purpose, that are on the path that they're supposed to be on, and even done the work on themselves spiritually, and they are divinely protected. Here, there's a separation that's going on now. I talked about Mars and Virgo, that Virgo energy separating wheat from the shaft. Then it's square in the nose, Gemini, and the South Node of Sagittarius. Also with the vaccine, also with some situations like with the vaccine, I do see them turning the vaccinated against the people who are unvaccinated. I do see that here. So you definitely need to be careful with that, and be careful who you trust, and be careful who you let around you. Protect your energies. I also see here that there's going to be, um, as stated, because um, Cause with the Antichrist energy, it's like what they call like a, it's like soulless in a way. It's like they causing people to, it's like these people who are giving their power over to that energy, they're gonna fall with it. Um, it's like they rising, but they're gonna fall with it as well. Um, so there's a separation going on between with the chosen ones. There's more energies gonna be sent out, and also there's crimes against humanity that's taking place. Um, that people not paying attention to, even though people is entertained by other things, but behind the scenes, there's crimes against humanity that's going on. Aquarian energy in this lower vibration, and then outside of retrograde is about crimes against humanity. So there's crimes against humanity that's even taking place, especially with the energy start being sent out globally. They're gonna try different ways to try to control the population, try to control things and control the population. The only way how I see it here, that power is gonna have to be taken back is by rising up against the government, as I stated before. That's going to be a rise against the government, and I got a feeling that's going to end up taking place in the future, especially by Pluto nearing at its completion of its 248-year cycle. It's going to happen. On a personal level, on a personal level, and then I did just make a video about what family structures as well, and how those gonna have to be redefined, and the energy is gonna be taken into consideration. If you're interested, definitely go back and watch the video, and you'll definitely see what I'm talking about here. Because with this energy is going on in Virgo, the question is that is it gonna be working for you? That's even gonna be the question in 2024. Why Saturn? Why the South Node in Virgo and the North Node in Pisces? Is it gonna be working? Is Saturn gonna be there in Pisces? Is that gonna be working? Is the question. Are those structures and foundations, are they still gonna be working? I mean, you can manifest your own realities off of that, but the question is that is it still gonna work out for you? If you decide to go that route, or if people decide to go that route, they're gonna have to see consequently themselves how it's gonna work. And that's why I was talking about considering taking into considerations with the energies that we're under. Because we got Uranus and Taurus, and it's going to end up moving to Gemini. We got Saturn and Aquarius square Uranus here. Are we going to continue to be aligned with the Saturnian energy, or are we going to align with Jupiter's energy, expanding, growing and expanding? Because with Uranus go retrograde Gemini, that's about to change your perspective on things, which is going to cause even more and more change, especially with this energy, especially with this correction age that we're in. Okay, nah. Show me three more cards. Spirit, show me three more cards. Ashe. The Ace of Wands. The Hierophant Crown, the Ace of Wands. That would be about those people, as I said, about that beast system who are in power and causing these conflicts, that are in power, and they feeding off of power, and that causing a lot of conflicts here. They feeding off of it. They feeding off of it. They feeding off of it. and that power has to be taken back eventually. And like I said, this is general reading because I'm telling what all I'm picking up. Normally I do it separately, but I decided to compound it into one. As stated, there's war going on at this time with the upheaval war going on at this time. Even with the Melanite people, there's war going on at this time. In terms of with the masculine and the feminine, in terms of the men and the women, especially even the heterosexual men and the women. It's a lot. It's going on at this time. Also, the men, their feminine energies is suppressed, and it's starting to kind of show in a way at this time. They're still putting up a fight, but eventually they're gonna have to surrender. Eventually, they're gonna end up surrender to it. Individually, they're gonna surrender to it. Also, in some of these communities, there's even a, and it's not just, it's just not, it's in with some communities. It's not with the Melanite. It's within some of the communities. There's a there's things that's been going on. What if it's pedophile rings, things of that nature is going on, and that's being exposed and brought to light at this time. And these people who had power in this, they're falling. Those people are falling. Believe it or not, those people are falling. And they're gonna fall. I made a reading back here not a while back here late spring, going into the summer called the fall of the hangman. And that's what's going on. On a personal level, there's gonna be opportunities coming in to some of you at this time. Some of you may have been trying to fight your way through financially, or maybe face delays. But there's opportunities coming. Some of you, it will just test your faith. I have transit Jupiter square my natal Jupiter at this time. That's about my faith being tested, and I will say it's not easy, but that's about my faith being tested in whatever way, whether it's financially or whatever. That's about faith being some of you are on the testing ground at this time in terms of your faith being tested. Like in other words, okay, are you gonna take a risk? Are you gonna continue to rely on the practical way of thinking and learning, or are you gonna use this opportunity this time and take that risk and go and do what you got to do as you go, and not rely so much on practical planning? Sometimes practical planning, it could be it can definitely be good, but sometimes it can be our worst enemy as well. So there has to be a balance. We cannot rely too much on that. There has to be a balance. And some of you will be granted with opportunities at this time, especially those of you who are in the financial, who are suffering financially or going through financial hardships to make things happen. You will have to do it, incorporate. You will have to use it and do it as you go. Use it to your own benefit as you go at this time. Because I do see some of you leaving, some of you relocating abruptly, leaving situations behind here. Some of you going to relocate. Like some of you may not be all that financially stable, but you're going to relocate to another place. Meaning that some of you may leave material things behind, and may need to leave those things behind in order to go pursue and go in order to go forward. You may have to travel light. Mhm. Let's see. I do see people in love at this time. I do see people. I do see people that's gonna be regretting at this time. I do see that. I do see people abruptly getting a karma at this time. And I remember I stated that a full moon energy is gonna pack a punch because with and then it crossed over with Saturn is with that moon That's like the Tower, and in Aquarius, that's like the Tower card in the tarot deck. It's like it's instant, it's unexpected, it's instant. So people, so at this time, people who haven't paid that karmic debt, people who haven't paid that karmic debt at this time, or people who had done a disservice to who was a disservice to others, they pretty much they pretty much receiving their karma at this time. I do see that. The devil, the high priestess, and see the six of pentacles. So it's about, as stated, what serving the purpose. Because I got the nine of swords crowning the devil, and then I have the high priestess, the eight of wands crowning the high priestess. So as stated, this here is about what serving the purpose and what no longer serving the purpose. What we gave our service to and what was in the disservice to us. What serving the purpose and what no longer serving the purpose at this time in our lives is what this is. And also with this beast energy that's taking place, this is them this is them trying to keep us constantly dependent on them, upon them, leaning on them for support. They feeding off our energies, and they giving things for to try to keep us stifling. Here is what this is. As stated, they're feeding off our energies. And there's also news that they giving. There's false information that's being given to the mainstream media. Information that's really not true. They're sugarcoating, and they're not really telling you exactly what is going on here. Is what's going on here. And also it's about what's serving the purpose. Us taking a look at what's serving the purpose in our lives, what no longer serving the purpose in our lives. We taking a look at that. And also this is also time about these are the chosen ones. This is a separation that's going on. The chosen ones versus the ones who, I want to just say not chosen, but it's more so like, because it's like the chosen ones that are who are truly in alignment, truly spiritually alignment, who are truly in alignment. It's like the chosen ones that are being separated from the ones who not. And of course, there's exposure going on. Exposure going on at this time with the hypocrisy that's going on, that's taking place here. The real versus the fake, all of that. The two sides that I mentioned in the previous video, which is the the material control us, not the two sides, but the two types of us, and then the true authentic us. And also, I was talking about us taking back our power, the citizens rising up against the government in the future. The karmic scale, this is us. Okay, this is us. The karmic scales is over us. This is the beast. This is the beast system. This is the true, authentic us. This is the us that the government pretty much that was pretty much established materially. See what I was talking about with with the Virgo energy square in the nose? That's being shown. And then there's a balance going to take place with the energies, with the masculine and the feminine energies. Not only with in us, but even on a practical level, a balance happening. Now I would end up doing a love reading because I'm gonna have to cut the reading short. We already at 31 minutes, but the way how I see it here is pretty interesting. What is taking place is pretty interesting. Taking it turns like with family values and things of that nature. And as stated, this is you. You have determined also on a personal level what you need to leave behind. Like what do you need to leave behind when this opportunity come in? When the opportunities come in, what do you need to leave behind in order? Because I feel this testing ground is about of faith is about too. With some of us with Jupiter transit Jupiter square in the natal Jupiter, our natal Jupiter, because Jupiter is about faith. Sagittarius itself is about faith with the South Node. And then Mars and Virgo and Venus and Virgo and Mercury and Virgo square that. What's not serving us? What do we need to leave behind? What is holding us back? What do we need to leave behind in order to go forward? Some of us are even fighting and holding ourselves back from some things that we always wanted to do because we're worried about what society say, what they think, and what they considering as taboo. We worried about that when it's part of who we are and we have to embrace it. So with that being said, here, and also within love, there's people gonna be trying to come back around. I do see that people gonna be trying to come back around, trying to right their wrongs, stalking, trying to right their wrongs. Some things didn't fare well with them. I say if you feel uncertain about these people, be careful at this time. If you feel uncertain about them, it's all right to be cordial stuff, but if you feel uncertain about them, don't let them back in. Don't let them back into your life. Especially if they left or you left them behind, don't let them back into your life. Some of you is a third party situation in love, and you need to make a decision on the terms of like if you're gonna continue to stay in that situation or if you're gonna leave it behind. Or some of you are needing to leave it behind because when Saturn goes direct, some of you all in for a rude awakening, and it's not gonna be cute. Especially in Aquarius, it's not gonna be cute. I do see on the other hand with dating, inclusive dating. This is not exclusive dating. Inclusive. Some of you all may decide to date exclusively, but I do see inclusive dating. Somebody making a decision here to decide who they're gonna choose in terms of moving forward with, in terms of exclusive dating, and or even in terms of a romantic relationship. Who they decide who they're gonna move forward with. Some of them decide who are they gonna move forward to relocate with, establish a family with, and establish a union with, and commit to. I'm pulling more card. We got Uranus retrograde now. And the reason why some of the things, I mean, your life probably coming to a halt in a way too. Not in terms of your faith is being tested, but you have to incorporate some things. Just like what I was talking about not too long ago, you have to incorporate some of those things so they can benefit you. Don't let people dictate your. Don't let people dictate what you're doing. Don't let people dictate it. Telling you you need to continue to save. If you feel you got some money put back, you definitely have some money put back. Definitely need to do that. But on the other hand, too, you also need to be on the go when this opportunity comes in, because some of you, this opportunity is temporary. It's not gonna last long, and this opportunity gonna benefit you in terms of, like, for example, if you need proof of income, for those of you who are self-employed or unemployed, if you need proof of income to move into an apartment and things of that nature. But when you do that, don't stop there. Don't stop there. You need to continue to go forward in terms of thinking back what you always want to do and things of that nature. And especially if it benefiting you financially, if it's going to benefit you financially, the route that you're going to take in terms of career wise, financial wise, things of that nature. Because this isn't the time about being getting comfortable with this, especially if you getting yourself, you're trying to relocate and things of that nature. King of Pentacles, that's success and temperance. So yeah, that goes back to what I was talking about here. That goes back to what I was talking about here. But I'm gonna end this reading here because we already a little over 37 minutes in. But thanks for watching. Until next time, peace and blessings.